Hi everyone, I'm going to react to Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, episode 8, and last episode, Yamamoto's dead, Byakuya's dead, Ichigo has unlocked his Quincy powers, because apparently his mom was a Quincy, and then the Iwabaha and his people, they left Soul Society, leaving behind a whole lot of damage and a whole lot of debt. So that's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting Patreon at patreon.com/feelme. And now let's start this episode, and here we go. People, I said this ever since I started reacting to Bleach, this season of Bleach. I've been saying it, that I didn't see Grimjo die on screen. Like, it didn't look like he died on screen. So this guy must be alive someplace, you know? And I believe I said in the episode where someone came and saved, when someone sliced jail and whatnot, that it might be him. Because I'm like, it must be someone that's an enemy of the Quincy's and the Soul Reapers, you know? And I could only see like an Espada being enemy of both. And the only Espada that in my mind I'm thinking is still alive somewhere is Grimjo. So when I heard his voice and then they showed him a little bit, I said before that he was my favorite among the Espadas. So the fact that he's back, I feel like the deal that he made with Kisuke is that he's gonna help them, but then he's gonna face Ichigo later or something or other like that. You know, he and Ichigo, they have this thing, you know. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see him back. Okay. I'm so glad that Byakuya is alive as well, because the way they ended that last episode, like, you knew definitively that Genrusa is dead. Byakuya, why I believe that he died as well was after he spoke, he sort of like disappeared, then he like bowed down and stuff. So I'm like, I don't know why. I thought maybe his soul disappearing also means that he's dead, you know? So that's why I assumed that he was dead as well. But I'm so glad. I didn't think that Kenpachi was in danger, I guess. But then when that one person showed up and he's like, Kenpachi and Byakuya are alive, and I'm like, okay. And then I forgot that Ichigo's sword was like broken. So Mayuri sent someone to call Ichigo about the sword. And he got there, and then he told him that, you know how the sword had two phases, that the Shikad you can fix with just the spiritual pressure of the Soul Reaper, but then the Bankai, if the Bankai is broken, it's not fixable or something or other like that. And then I think that's when he told him about the Squad Zero that's coming and whatnot. So they went there, and then Squad Zero showed up. You have the girl, the what's her name? I think I wrote it down. Kiryu. I feel like I've seen her before. And if I remember correctly, I think it was during the when they were telling the story of how forgetting his name. But there are so many characters in this show. Shinji. I feel like it was during those episodes where they were telling how Shinji and the others became what were they called again? When they had the mask on their faces. They have a name for their group that I'm forgetting. I think it was during those time where they showed this Kiryu person, and maybe I'm not sure, some of the others as well that are part of Squad Zero. Visored, yeah, the Visored. That's what they call themselves. I think it was during those stories, or was it like? I think I'm not totally sure, but I feel like that's where I saw her the first time around. So, what was I about to say about her then? I don't know, whatever. So you have all those 5 people that showed up, and then they were like, those 5, their combined strength is stronger than all the 13 squad captain or whatever. There's like no actual leader. Like you had the head captain for the 13 squad. They were all captains. There was no leader, and their goal was to protect the royal palace. And they showed up, and then they were like, okay, the first Osho, I think that's his name, told Ichigo that he wanted him to come with them to the royal palace, and Ichigo's like, why? And there was the one woman that I feel like sort of like is some kind of research person, because her and Mayuri were getting into it, and she says that the security over there was weaker than it was when she was in charge or something or other like that. So I'm assuming that her, Mayuri, and Kisuke are all part of some kind of research. Their thing is the research and whatnot. So she got hold of Renji, of Byakuya, and Rukia, and then she took the sword, Ichigo's sword as well, with her, and they were only waiting on Ichigo to come with them. And that's where Kisuke showed up, and then not showed up, but like, transmitted the order. He spoke to them, right, and basically told Ichigo to do what he feels like he needs to do or something or other like that. And then he told him that, and then just with Chad in a way, basically telling him that they're okay. And after the Grimjo, when he heard Ichigo's voice, he's like, "Is that you? Is that Ichigo?" I don't know. He was getting upset because he wanted to. I'm pretty sure he wants to face Ichigo again, but okay. Then the transmission cut off and whatnot, and then he turned around. He's like, "Okay, I'm going with you." And it was, I don't remember the woman's name, but I wrote Ganjo's sister. She's the one that helped them the first time around when they were trying to come to society, get into society and save Rukia. She's the one that transported them, basically, right? With Ganjo offers them as well. So he, that's so launched them, I guess, back into the royal palace. And after they left, she mentioned something about how their uncle would be excuse me, how their uncle will be sad or something or other like that. And then they showed her Ganjo and then the uncle. You see the uncle from the back, and I'm like, who's that? And then I'm like, wait, his back looks like Ichigo's father's back. So are they related? I don't think we've seen in Bleach before any inclination and like anything that showed that they were related to Ichigo in any way. Unless I'm mistaken and the person there is not Ichigo's father. But I feel like it is him. Or is the uncle thing, is it just like sometimes when you know someone from when you were young, even though the person is not related to you, you can call them uncle. Maybe it's that, or maybe it's a blood relation. I don't know. But then after she said that, they showed those people from the season that ended before this one. The guy that could enter your memories and stuff, put himself into your memories and replace those people that you used to love and whatnot. That's what happened with Chad and Inoue. He placed the memories of. He made himself important in Ichigo and not Ichigo, Inoue and Chad's lives in such a way that when Ichigo was against him, they turned against Ichigo as well. It was that person, and then the one that I think he was also substitute soul reaper, if I remember correctly. The one that made himself like his friend or something since the beginning, but he turned out to be the villain. I forgot his name, but they were also there, and apparently she's training them. Okay, so they're probably gonna join the battle at some point. I don't know. When Ichigo made himself to the royal palace, I'm like, okay, are we gonna see the Soul King? And Ichigo asked if he was going to the Soul King, and they're like, no. So I'm like, okay, so I guess that answers that question. But then the end there, after credit, I didn't think there was an after credit. I was just here, just listening to the music because I like the outro. I was just listening to it and eating some fruits and whatnot. And then the scene played out. I'm like, oh, Soul King. Looking forward to what the heck he is, what are his powers? Why is it such a big deal that no one can see him? I don't know, just learning more about the Soul King as well. And then Tanjiro, what am I saying? Oh, Tanjiro. That's because the guy's name is Tanjiro Kirinji. So when I say Tanjiro, I'm like, I just finished watching Demon Slayer. So I'm like, what am I saying Tanjiro? But I just read it. Tanjiro Kirinji. He brought the Ichigo, Byakuya, Renji, and Rukia into his hot spring, and that's part of his healing process. He was taking out the blood and Reishi, the spiritual powers, spiritual energy, whatever. He's taking it out, and then he's gonna throw them into the red one, and that's gonna be replenishing them or whatever. So he's basically healing those three. So I'm like, I said it before that there are some captains whose death I really don't want to see happen, and Byakuya was one of them. So the fact that he's alive, I'm like, I love it. So that's basically what happened this episode, and thank you guys for watching. And if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/feelmini. You can also see the full and for this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. C'est l'hormone, une fille pas comme les autres. C'est l'hormone, un tu nous emporte.